I'd like to call to order the Scotch Plains Fanwood Board of Education regular public meeting on June 28th, 2018. Mrs. Saradaki, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Mrs. Brody?
Yes. Here.
Dr. Clancy?
Yes.
Mrs. Soriani?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Here.
Ms. Winkler? Oh, she's out. Checked off the wrong name. Ms. Boroff?
Here.
Dr. Kulikowski?
Here.
Ms. Bauer?
Here.
Quorum is present.
Thank you. Please join us in the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The board just met in executive session and discussed personnel, HIB, suspensions and detentions, and notice of this meeting was given to the Borough Clerk of Fanwood, to the Township Clerk of Scotch Plains, and also to the Times. We do have some additions to the agenda tonight, 4 of them, 1S, and then we have 3 under business, 40, 41, and 42. So that brings us to the opportunity for the public. According to Scotch Plains Fanwood Policy 0164 and 0165, there's an opportunity for the public to come to the microphone. We ask that you try to limit it to 2 minutes, but please give us your name and the town in which you reside. Is there anyone?
Good evening, Superintendent Hayes, Mrs. Bauer, and everybody else, members of the Board of Education. I'm Larry Glickstein from Scotch Plains. I was here 2 weeks ago with 25 other people, including 18 students. We weren't here to criticize or be against anything. We were here for something. May seem insignificant, but it's not to the people who are in the know. That's the retention of Gary Wasserman as the head coach of the Scotch Plains Fanwood boys and girls tennis teams. Let me just say, I'll keep it short. Hopefully, everyone here saw the passion that not just the adults, but really the kids who graduated and came back, kids who were graduating, taking the time out of their day in the middle of June to fight for something that they believe in, and that's Gary being the head coach. And, I have a daughter who was in 8th grade last year as well at Terrell. There was no French teacher for the first 6 weeks, and people came to meet the parents' night or meet the teachers' night with pitchforks. They were absolutely incensed that there was no French teacher for these kids. And the whole idea is, right, we all want the best in this community, and that's what you're here to do, and you're volunteering your time. And the desperation was, well, we're going to try to find somebody to teach your kids French in the 8th grade. And I'm sitting here now and I'm saying to myself, we have a skilled professional who cares about these kids, somebody who is the best person for the job. And whether or not he is in district teacher or not should not matter. There are other coaches here who are not in the district who coach. Gary has won 3 Union County Coach of the Year awards with subpar talent. My son was the #1 player this year, and I admit that he's not as good as kids from Westfield and Milburn and Summit and some other kids. And as far as, the type of person that you want coaching a program, and I'll make this my last point, there was a boy in the team, Matthew Hawes, who his mom passed away 2 years after he graduated. And I went over there to pay a civic call to the family, and Gary Wasserman was there with that family the entire week. In the summer, on his own time, he could be giving lessons, but he maintained a relationship that he built for 4 years to be with Matthew and his family. Not for pay, just he's a good, decent man who is the type of person that I think we all want as any of our teachers. And I'll tell you, and the last comment would just be, my son graduated, and of everybody he had as a teacher, in addition to Megan Whitesides, who was terrific, Gary Wasserman was the most impactful educator that he had in his 4 years at Scotch Plains. And I just hope that as you vote tonight, that you take that under consideration. And again, I just ask for, the respect that, that all the kids here, that they came and voiced their opinion. Thank you. I appreciate the time.
Thank you for coming to speak. Is there anyone else who wants to come to the microphone? Okay, seeing no one, we're going to move on to committee reports, although I think, is there anything new to add? Because I know we had reports at the last meeting and opportunity for discussion and so forth. Okay, no updates. We do have 4 letters to the board. One LET was an email from Jeannie Cleary, dated June 11th, 2018, which was a personnel matter, which was referred to exec. We had a second LET from Mike Strug, dated June 16th, 2018. Again, a personnel matter referred to exec. We had an email from Erica Santiago, dated June 21st, 2018, related to a student, referred to exec. And for LET, an email from Lori Kadishworth, dated June 24th, 2018, again, a personnel matter referred to exec. And that brings us to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Bauer. 1S tonight, I would ask that the board approve the out-of-district placements. Some of these deal with the extended school year. That's 1SA, are all extended school year placements. And there are 6 of them listed on the agenda. And then 1SB are asked for the Board of Education's approval for the 2018-19 school year for public and private out-of-district placements as listed on the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. And then the last part of that agenda item were the settlement agreements. Did you all see that? Okay, so anybody have any change of heart on that vote? All right. 2S, I would ask that the board approve the HIB investigation reports and the superintendent's decisions in those cases for May 10th, May 24th, and also June 14th and June 28th.
So moved.
Second, comments or questions?
I have to abstain from the May 24th.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm an abstention as well for June 14th.
Okay.
Debbie?
So we have 2 abstentions.
Wait, what day was I not here?
Is that the,
Debbie, do you have that information? Do you have that?
it should be in the, wait a minute. If I look up the minutes.
She has to abstain from which date?
I thought she said the 14th.
She's
Wait a minute.
checking.
Let me look at the,
Stephanie, the 14th, I thought she said, right?
That's what I thought, but she's
Trying
checking.
to recall which,
You were not here on the 14th.
June 14th, right? Right.
Right, June
June
14th, right.
okay.
Thank you, sorry.
Okay. Okay, for 3S, I'm asking that the board acknowledge the harassment, intimidation, and bullying self-assessment as submitted. This is what was reported on at our last board meeting. This is the assessment for the previous year that the State Department of Ed has now affirmed our self-assessment, and we need the board to acknowledge that.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Again, I abstained from June 14th.
Okay. Do we need to
have to
abstain?
abstain?
if
Do I
we-
have to abstain?
If we,
You were here when we did the original self-assessment back in January.
Right.
So
Yes.
as long as you agree with those findings, then you're fine.
that's what I thought. Okay.
Then I'm in
Okay.
favor.
All right. 4S is asking that the Board of Education approve the submission of our HIB and SSDS reports for the period between September 2017 and December 2017 to the New Jersey Department of Ed. These were presented at our last meeting.
So moved.
All
If
those
you
in-
wanted to abstain on that one, you could, because, all right. All right, so, go ahead.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, 5S, we're asking tonight for the curriculum approvals of business education proficiencies for business law course H7572, business technology course H732, pre-calculus course H2402. In addition, the student 2018 summer assignments and the STEAM scope and sequence and professional development that was presented to the board curriculum committee and recommended for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Debbie, you want to call the roll? Mrs. Saradaki?
Dr. Kulikowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mrs. Boroff?
Yes.
Mrs. Brody?
Yes.
Dr. Clancy?
Yes.
Mrs. Suriani?
Yes.
And Mrs. Bauer?
Yes.
Thank you. 6S, I would like the Board of Education to acknowledge receipt of the fiscal year 2018 biannual gifts to the schools, School 1, Coles, the high school, McGinn, Park, and Evergreen, and the revised report for Brunner, and some additional high school gifts.
So moved. Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
7S, I would ask that the board approve the special education 2018 summer field trips. And did we list the 2018-19 field trips, Ann? Okay, and the field trips that are being proposed for 2018-19.
So moved. Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
8S, this is our annual reapproval of the matrix of forms. My thanks to Mrs. Rabimbis for her work in reviewing these forms, and I am recommending that they be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
9S, I ask that the Board of Education approve the 2018-19 school nursing plan as prepared under the direction of Mrs. Rabimbis.
So moved.
Comments or questions?
Seconded?
Deb.
Okay, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
In 10S, I would ask that the board approve the motion that we do annually at this time for the superintendent to take action regarding hiring of personnel, bid awards, while the board is in recess during the month of July and August. The superintendent's decisions will be reviewed and subject to approval when the board convenes again in August.
So moved.
Second.
Where are you? Okay, just wanted to make sure. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. And 11S, I would ask that the Board of Education approve the Danielson rubric for teacher evaluation and the Marshall rubric for administrator and supervisor evaluation for the 2018-19 school year.
So moved. Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. And tonight, I would ask that the board approve the personnel agenda as reviewed in exec this evening.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? It's a roll call, I forgot. Roll call, I see it.
Kulikowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Boroff?
Yes.
Mrs. Brody?
Yes.
Dr. Clancy?
Yes.
Ms. Suriani?
Yes.
Mrs. Bauer?
Yes.
Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Okay, that brings us to the business, oh no, we have another opportunity. I'm sorry if anyone wants to come to the microphone. 0164, 0165 policies. Please tell us your name and the town in which you reside. Mrs. Cleary for the public.
Mrs. Bauer, it's good to see you. I'm Jean Cleary from Foundwood, and as disappointed as I am, actually, I would just continue to ask the board to take a careful look at the process of coaches, how they are chosen, the standards that we hold them to, and who's actually being held accountable for seeing that that is being done. We have some really, I think there's some work to be done, that all sports and extracurriculars should be led by people who have some background in how to motivate positively young people. And as I said last time that I was here, you know, culture and climate is really very heavily driven by the sports at the high school. And I would just, with what I know is a heavy agenda at times, ask that it not be forgotten after tonight. So I would just ask you to continue to look into that. I think we have some work to do to standardize the accountability and the level of professionalism that we're holding everybody to. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Cleary.
Thank you. Seeing no one else, we'll move on to the business functions. Mrs. Saradaki.
I'd like to group these items if we could.
Sure.
1 BUS, I'm asking for the approval of the staff training on the report, superintendent's recommendation report dated June 28, 2018. 2 BUS, I'm asking the board to acknowledge receipt of the disbursement listings for the month of May 2018. 3 BUS, I'm asking the board to acknowledge receipt of the district school security and fire drill reports for the months of both May and June 2018. 4 BUS, I'm asking for the board's acknowledgement of bus drills for the winter and spring for 2017-18 school year. 5 BUS, I'm asking that the board approves the following related services for 2018-19. And you have a list here of the various services that we know of at this point that we'll need. 6 BUS was approved at the June 14th meeting. 7 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve the frontline renewals. That's the absence and substitute management, applicant tracking, time and attendance, IEP Direct, employee evaluation management, PL and training library, and professional learning and management. The overall increase between all of these categories, as requested last week, was 5.9%. 8 BUS, I'm asking for the board to accept the existing master agreements with the SPFEA, the administrative group, the Supervisors Association, and the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. 9 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve the agreements with Union County Ed Services for special education for 2018-19, for the special education for the extended school year, for professional services that they assist with child study team services, for administering our non-public costs such as textbooks, technology, nursing, and security aid, and non-public IDEA, and chapters 192, 193 services, and the ESEA non-public. These are all services that were the pass-through organization. The state gives us money intended for non-public schools, and those costs have to be reimbursed to them in certain ways, and Union County Ed Services handles that for us. 10 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve the tuition agreement with Union County Vocational Technical Schools for 2018-19. There's a 0% increase. 11 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve the lease purchase bid award to U.S. Bank Corp. 4 bids were received.
So we'll change it. We'll
No,
change
it's
it.
actually 3 bids, but one had 2 options.
Oh, I see, okay.
So when you add the interest rate together with the fees, the lowest interest rate was U.S. Bank Corp. 12 BUS, the renewal of the professional services contract with Energy for America for 2018-19. That's at a total cost for the year of $90,168. That's a 2% increase. 13 BUS, I have to apologize, you'll have this report tomorrow. I'm asking the board to acknowledge receipt of it, but I've been out all week, so you will have the report tomorrow. 14 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve the independent E-rate consultant at a 0% increase. That's Don Dietrich. He's an independent consultant, and his fee is still $4,800. It has not increased for several years. 15 BUS, I'm asking for the board to reappoint Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services as an extraordinary unspecified service for the 2018-19 school year. 16 BUS, I'm asking for the board to reappoint Centric Benefits Consulting, Ed Gunther, as the employee benefit agent for the district during the 2018-19 school year as an extraordinary unspecified service. 17 BUS, I'm asking the board to reappoint Potter Architect LLC as architect of record for the district during the 2018-19 school year. Fees are established based on projects. 18 BUS, I'm asking for the board to reappoint Phoenix Advisors LLC as bond counsel for the 2018-19 school year, and that's at a fee of $4,000. That is also a 0% increase. 19 BUS, I'm asking for the board to readopt all current and written policies, bylaws, and rules and regulations in the policy manual of the Scotch Plains-Glenwood School District, unless modified by the Board of Education in accordance with the applicable policies. 20 BUS, I'm asking for a transfer of any current year surplus determined by our auditors to capital and/or maintenance reserve. 21 BUS was approved on June 14th. 22 BUS, I'm asking for the board to authorize the business administrator to process additional invoices for payment for the current fiscal year with board confirmation at the next regular meeting, and process invoices for July with board confirmation at August meeting. 23 BUS, I'm asking that the board approves that the Board of Education, to the extent consistent with state law, policies, and bylaws of the board, will be guided by Robert's Rules of Order. 24 BUS, I'm asking that the board authorize the uniform minimum chart of accounts for New Jersey Public Schools for the 2018-19 school year. Just a note on why that's important is because some districts actually, we do go out much further than the chart of accounts as far as the state is concerned to add extra information in our accounts. But as far as what the state considers transfers, if we adopt just the chart of accounts as is, then transfers are only considered within the state chart of accounts and not within our own. Collection and maintenance of school records, that I'm asking the board to approve the collection and maintenance of student records in the authorized categories and will regulate access pursuant to NJAC Title 6A 32-7 to ensure the educational welfare of the students of the district. 26 BUS, I'm asking the board to authorize the superintendent or designee to approve such line item budget transfers as are necessary between Board of Education meetings, and such transfers shall be reported to the Board of Education, ratified and duly recorded in the minutes of the next regular meeting. 27 BUS, I'm asking the board to authorize the board secretary to establish the following impressed petty cash fund for the period of July 2018 through June 2019. The amount of fund to be set at $1,000 with no individual expenditure to exceed $150. 28 BUS, I'm asking the board to approve the 403B tax shelters that we currently have in place, and 29 BUS, the approval of the 457 tax shelters we currently have in place. 30 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve the vendors for the 2018-19 Rep Theater production. There probably will be one or two more coming in August, but these are the ones we're aware of so far. 31 BUS, I'm asking for the board to approve Pay School's annual software licensing cost for total cost of $2,696.65. This is the software that we use for the cafeteria kiosks for payment. 32 BUS was approved June 14th. 33 BUS, I'm asking the board to acknowledge receipt of the board secretary's report, treasurer of school fund report, and budget adjustments for the month of May 2018. 34 BUS, I'm asking the board to approve bills for the period May 19th, 2018 to June 22nd, 2018 in the amount of $4,292,821.25. 35 BUS was approved on June 14th. 36 BUS was also approved on June 14th. 37 BUS is our Systems 3000 renewals. These are the costs that we spend for our accounting, payroll, and personnel systems to keep them up and running on an annual basis. 38 BUS is the New Jersey SIG membership renewal, which is school insurance group, and this is for our workers' comp, and this is a required resolution for the period July 1st, 2018 through July 1st, 2021. Does anybody need me to read it, or do you? Okay. 39 BUS is, I'm asking for the board to approve disposal of the following cafeteria equipment that will be or has been replaced. This is for us to dispose of the equipment. As you can see, the equipment is quite old. A 1965 food mixer. This equipment has or is being replaced.
Does it still work, Eva? Does it still work?
No, that's why it's being replaced. We kept them until they died, until our maintenance people could no longer repair them. 40 BUS is an additional transportation contract that we neglected to have approved earlier. It was unexpected transportation contract because of a needed change in placement of a student. And this was for an individual student for 35 days that had to go to a separate placement, then went back to their original placement. 41 BUS, EI Associates, additional architectural fees. They're asking for an additional $3,600 because of one area of, special services at the high school. Because we configured it now into offices, they have an additional architectural fee. The good news is that the total cost of our contract with the company doing the work because of the change will probably go down, but they will need to do some additional engineering plans to complete that area. 42 BUS, we are planning to do some upgrades at the elementary school to the sound systems and the AV equipment in the multipurpose rooms. Wow. And we have 3 quotes so far. These are all on, you can see, cooperatives or state contract. We're waiting for one more, and then a small committee will be established to determine which is the most beneficial for the district, what fits into our needs the most. But I'm asking for the board's approval to withdraw this money from 2016-17 extraordinary aid. It will be done in the next week. So our books will still be open for 2017-18, which allows us to take the money from there. I will have it on the agenda so the board knows which option we selected along with the reasoning in August. And that's it.
So moved. Thank you. Is there a second?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, once we have a second.
first.
Okay. Yes, questions and comments?
I was just
Mrs.
wondering.
Sirianni.
Okay. I was just wondering on 41, can you just clarify what the additional fees are for, the additional architectural?
They have to redesign the system in what is now the child study team room at the high school, because it was one room, and we're breaking it up into offices.
Okay.
So the system will include, and because those walls will go to the, I can't remember what it's called, but the actual ceiling above the ceiling, because we want that to be soundproof because of who's using the offices. They're doing a little design thing with ventilation going to the different offices, so the whole thing will be air conditioned. So it's just the design work for that.
Thank you.
Because the way they have to cut through the walls to get airflow, but still keep it soundproof.
Okay.
Other questions and comments? Okay, I'm sure it was pointed out at the last meeting, but in case somebody's watching this one, the rep theater costs are reimbursed from the proceeds.
Yes, they are.
Right? And the cafeteria costs come out of the cafeteria.
They come out of the cafeteria fund, which is a separate enterprise fund.
Right. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Mrs. Saradaki, you've been very busy. That brings us to board policies. Mrs. Williams?
I'd like to move that the Board of Education approves the second reading on June 28, 2018 for the adoption of the following board policies. Policy and Regulation 1550, Equal Employment Anti-Discrimination Practices. Policy 1581, Victim of Domestic or Sexual Violence, which is new. Policy 2431, Athletic Competition. Regulation 2431.2, Medical Examination prior to participation on a school-sponsored interscholastic or intramural team or squad. Policy 2431.8, Varsity Letters for Interscholastic Extracurricular Activities, new. Policy and Regulation 5350, Student Suicide Prevention. Policy and Regulation 8462, Reporting Potentially Missing or Abused Children. Policy 5460, High School Graduation. Policy 5465, Early Graduation Abolished. Policy 5533, Student Smoking. Policy 5535, Passive Breath Alcohol Sensor Device. Policy and Regulation 5561, Use of Physical Restraint and Seclusion Techniques for Students with Disabilities. And Policy 7446, School Security Program.
Is there a second? Okay. Are there any questions? I know it was read last week, last meeting. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Is there any new board business? Okay, other board business, requests to attend workshops? Workshop reports? Okay, so we have 2 OBB is the adoption of resolution for negotiating services. Do we need to read these, Cap?
No, you don't.
Okay,
You want to highlight the name and the amount, that's fine, would be sufficient.
okay. Negotiating services, and it's for Raymond Cassetta for 2018-2019 school year as our consultant, and this is a 0% increase. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Does anyone want to do the next one? Just move it right off the bat. Okay, appointment of treasurer of school monies. That is for our accounting firm. I can never say it. Can you say it, Mrs. Saradaki?
Richard Berry.
Richard Berry.
Treasurer of school monies.
Oh, I skipped over.
I'm sorry.
I was already skipping to accounting. Okay, yes, a fee of $9,000, 0% increase. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now for accounting.
Nisavatia.
Nisavatia, have a mental block about how to say that. 51,000, and that's a 5.6% increase. And I think there was a reason they're having to do additional,
Yes, they came out
Accounting.
with a new GASB, and they have to do another probably 20 or 30 pages of audit,
yes.
so.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, legal counsel for special education, and this is for Scarsini and Hollenbeck, for Nathaniel Simon, and for the upcoming school year, 168.30 per hour, estimated $55,000, 0% increase.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and resolution for
I thought it was done.
legal services, and this is for Casper Bame, and sorry, I'm going to mispronounce everything tonight. It's the end of the year, for next year, and this is through December 31st, and the semi-annual fee of $24,960, hourly rate of $230, and a 0% increase.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and that brings us to 8 OBB, and that's the completion of the superintendent's merit goals, which covered a wide variety of things, both qualitative and quantitative. It included, let's give some examples. All were really related to the strategic plan. One was convening a STEAM team, reviewing the current practices, and making
She gets the money, right?
and beginning to think about moving forward, but really evaluating what's currently happening. Let's see. I should be letting you talk about these, Dr. Hayes.
I actually had a couple highlights.
You want to highlight some things,
Well, yeah,
Dr. Clancy?
I have some
Good,
highlights.
there you go.
I liked them.
Because there are a lot of impressive things in here, and I'm not sure what to highlight, so you go right ahead.
Yeah, well, I'll highlight what caught my eye anyway.
Okay.
Because I really
Gotcha.
appreciate when we can do some, data analysis to support what we're trying. And under the acquisition of the 4 Cs, it was working with 6th graders this year. I was curious to hear a little more about what the perspective consciousness assessment actually studies, and it was given pre and post to 6th graders. It was given in December, and then I think May. I was just wondering what was in that. I know it would have been in what the teachers were teaching, but it was an interesting term.
So it's perspective taking, so.
There were some specific scenarios of how students would respond to, in one case, it was hunger, and how one would judge a family if they had hungry children. And so in some cases, the way the scenario would be set up, it would be easy to jump to a conclusion that the parents were being neglectful. Then if you put it in a larger context and you put yourself in the shoes of that person, your perspective might change. So they took the pre-assessment, as you said, and then they studied these global issues, and then they took the assessment again to see if they had gained in having a wider perspective, really, and a sense of empathy.
And they had.
And they had.
Showed that they, 70, I don't know what a big number.
Yeah, like
had.
75%, I think.
Yeah, so issues like hunger and, that's great.
Yeah. There's a list of major world issues, and the survey was based on that.
And this comes out of the global competency matrix that we worked on a couple of years ago. So it's a continuation of that work, which is, vital in this day and age when helping people to understand different perspectives is so critical to skills moving forward as citizens.
Absolutely. I also, I'm jumping around. There was a lesson study, which I've learned over the years that lesson study means that a group of teachers work together, and then a few of them observe a teacher doing a lesson and see how it goes, I guess. And I like that with second to fourth grade teachers. I really think that's a wonderful way to learn, because it helps people. I just think we could all use that kind of, peer feedback. So I thought that was great. I also liked, and we had done this here with the arts integration with the use of the language, the descriptive language, and how students who, I thought it was fascinating, students who had music and wasn't just music.
It's also art.
Music and art, visual art and music art, that their ability to tap into different word choices was that's really fascinating. Again, data showing that happens as well as anecdotal things. I think those are great. I like when we get to follow a group of kids and see how they grow. So I don't know if anyone else, but those were some of my highlights. I thought it was cool.
Anyone else? Questions or comments? I would like to thank Dr. Hayes and really all of the teachers and administrators who were involved in these activities, because they were impressive, and I thank you for those highlights, Dr. Clancy.
And my thanks go to all the teachers and to Dr. Mast for all the support that are given to these. Though they are my merit goals at the end of the day, it does take everybody's contributions to make it all work. Obviously, I don't teach in every class. So it's a tribute to the professional development that we really do support. And as a superintendent, I'm very fortunate because our strategic plan highlighted the importance of this type of professional development, which is very gratifying.
And I would add to that I've been, prior to being on the board, I was in different meetings with you and, teaching staff, and the teaching staff welcomes your input. So that actually speaks to you, that they're willing to have you be a part of it. I don't think they're, they look to you for what you can give them. So that's very positive as well.
So can I have a motion that we approve the superintendent's completion of the merit goals?
So moved. Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and that brings us to the approval of the minutes for May 10th and May 24th.
So moved.
Abstain from the 24th.
Second.
We need a second.
I said second, I'm sorry.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah, I
sorry.
said it kind of
Oh, you said it so quietly. Okay, and we have one abstention. Anyone else? Abstentions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We have an opportunity for anyone from the public to speak. Seeing no one, what about the good of the order? Anyone?
Well,
Okay. Dr. Kulikowski?
Wish everyone a happy, safe summer and enjoy yourselves and look forward to coming back in August.
and
A little bit earlier than August.
come on.
Policy.
And
Other things.
yes, Mrs. Seriani.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate all the students that graduated. We all, and most of us attended the high school graduation last week, and it was very inspiring and wonderful to see all the students moving on to wonderful things, and all the students also just moving forward to the next grade in the district. I had the opportunity to attend the Celebration of Learning at McGinn and also the kindergarten celebration, and they were just both wonderful events.
Yeah, I would second that. Graduation is just wonderful, and the happiness of the students, it's really, terrific. And we're proud of all our students for graduating. And also, I went to a couple of end of the year programs as well, and it was wonderful. Just a lot of real positive energy. Parents and principals working together, School One and McGinn also, and it was just wonderful. So, good job, and everybody's moving on to the next grade or on to whatever they're doing next. Very exciting. So, and have a good summer.
It is an exciting time of year. It's a happy time to celebrate. And I also want to point out and thank in advance all the teachers who are doing work over the summer, because I know we approved a lot of work that teachers will be doing, revising curriculum, and so thank you to everyone for a good year, and to the board too for working so hard. Everyone's doing their part, for kids, and we appreciate the staff, the teachers, everyone, and that's why it's so nice to celebrate, right, at the end of the year.
And we're very lucky that today was not graduation, and last week we had such beautiful weather.
I know, and
All the
tonight we had
ceremonies
all the rain.
being outside, yeah, with all the, well, we had the rainbow, but also at the park and Terrell inside the high school auditorium, how wonderfully the students moved, considering the number of students getting up and down on the stage. Both principals and assistant principals did a great job of getting the students in and out, and they were lovely. And agree, McGinn, everybody was so professional, so nice. And with the high school, we have the luxury of the whole football field, but it was a beautiful ceremony, and the speeches were wonderfully done. Very nice.
Very nice. So we need a motion to go back into executive session. No action will be taken, but
So moved.
Second?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.